No, listen, I know a lot of the people on that label. I know people who worked at the label. Like my man Sean Prez, close friend of mine.
Right.
But at the end of the day, if you look at most artists, most artists have a run, and then, every so often they reinvent themselves, like a 2 Chainz. I'm going to stop calling myself Titty Boy. I'm going to call myself 2 Chainz, and then I'm going to do this whole different thing, and then boom, like he's still doing well. But most artists have a run, and then they pretty much are catalog artists, and they go and just do shows like, remember the oldies shows and stuff like that. And I mean, but that's just most artists in general. People like to kind of point out Bad Boys being totally different than any other label, but like, I mean, shit, what did Criss Cross do after So So Def?
Died.
One of them died, but that was decades later. I mean, just in general, man. I mean, listen,
they were also kids. I mean, few artists transition from a child star to an adult star. Only a few. Got Chris Brown who did it,
Justin
Usher
Bieber,
did it.
Chris Brown, Michael Jackson. You can name a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Listen, every label has people that fall off. I mean, because look, at the end of the day, it's almost like sports, right?
Right.
You're bred since you're a kid to do this thing, and you put everything into it, and then you finally, you hit the big time, you have a big hit, and then boom, you can't, a hit is hard to come by.
I'm not gonna let you do that, bro.
There's only a few people, there's a few human beings on this earth that can continuously keep coming up with hit records year after year. Most people will have one hit record, and it'll be like, all right, cool.
Right.
It's not followed up with a whole lot of stuff. Was it Jaquan, Tipsy? You know what I'm saying? Like he had one song on, like you can look at So So Def and a bunch of the artists you've never heard from again. Listen, I mean, Jaquan kind of got, sort of like a whole like renew situation after that one country dude redid a song. You know what I'm saying? But in general, people have a hit and they usually tour off that one or two hit, the one or two hits that they have. And most major labels are not looking for artists that are sort of on the decline. They're looking for artists that are on top of the world, or they're looking for new artists.
Right.
That's just the nature of the music business.
But if you pair that with...
you can't really put it just on Diddy. Like, I'm not the biggest Diddy fan, but I mean, it is what it is. I've been in the music industry since like fucking 2002. Like, it's coming up on 25 years.
I was looking at your old stuff the other day. Old stuff. Because I said something about, with Godfrey, I said something about my son. And I didn't realize, because I wanted to look at those old videos. I didn't realize that his videos, his workout videos, you were doing those.
Right.
I'm like, I'm like, yo, Vlad was everywhere, bro.
Yeah.
Were you before Smack DVD?
Well, when Smack DVD was out, I had something called Hot in Here DVD, so I had my own version of that. Smack was definitely bigger during that time. I'm not gonna, he was way bigger than me in the DVD era, but once the internet era came in, it was not
so I remember
close,
that.
But
I know you've been around for some time.
Yeah, no, I've been around forever. So, listen, I try to be the contrarian and kind of the realist in some of these topics, because it's real easy to say, everyone a bad boy crumbled and died and, turned into crackheads and, religious zealots or whatever else. But look, man, people figure shit out. I think Mace is doing great right now. Last I checked.
Reinvented himself.
Yeah, I ran into him on Cameron's show. He was iced out, looking good, like, fresh, happy, smiling. We chopped it up. I don't think Mace is...
I pair, but it's not just... I pair them with what's the odds of these street dudes all turning into religions that not even them? Like Craig Mack literally went to a cult.
Yeah.
Loon turned to Sunni Muslim. And the list goes on.
Well, but Loon also went to prison for drug trafficking.
Okay, so why and Sean?
There was that.
Sean? Sean came out of jail as a Hasidic. He had the curls on the side with the...
I remember. I was talking to him during that time.
Yeah,
but also,
bro.
Shine was also deported.
Back to Belize.
He was literally deported out of the country and had to go live anywhere but America. So he couldn't really keep up his rap career. And he had just did 10 years in jail. Like, it was a messed up situation. You take prison out of the situation, those two probably would have been very different.
I think Diddy's the worst. Like I said, the whole freaky stuff, whatever. I think Diddy is a terrible human being. And I mean, But you know, with what he did with the Cassie, the video, beat her up and all of that was horrible too. But the freaky stuff, I think that trial was always going to go the way it did, and I also think he's not going to do any time.
He'll probably get time served, or maybe like a year or so.
I think he's going to get time served.
A year extra.